Whenever Anna worked overtime late into the night, her fatigue would instantly transfer to someone else. Thanks to this ability, she pulled all-nighters for an entire week, successfully helping the company secure a key project. However, the person who bore her exhaustion suffered as a result. Even if she went home and slept on time every day, she would still arrive at work the next day with dark circles under her eyes and feeling lethargic. When she went to the hospital for a checkup, she was shocked to discover that her organs were continuously failing. Her overall physical condition was like that of a 60-year-old. It was then that Anna suddenly realized that this must be related to the new intern, because she noticed that the intern had not slept for an entire week yet remained full of energy. To survive, she had no choice but to beg the intern to stop working overtime and go home to rest. Unexpectedly, her boss witnessed this and, enraged, fired her on the spot. To make matters worse, shortly after leaving the company, she suddenly died from a heart attack. But the very next second, she abruptly opened her eyes and found herself reborn. Moreover, the timing was exactly the second day after the intern had joined the company. Since the intern had worked 10 hours of overtime the previous night, Anna already felt exhausted all over. To avoid the tragic fate of her previous life, she decided to push through and stay to work overtime as well. She thought the fatigue would transfer to the intern as she had speculated. But unexpectedly, as the night deepened, she was the first to reach her limit. Meanwhile, the intern across from her grew more energetic the busier they got, continuously revising documents. In the end, Anna, completely drained of energy, collapsed onto the desk and fell into a deep sleep. When her boss discovered her, they unceremoniously shook her awake. They even said they were annoyed just seeing her half-dead appearance. After that night, she finally understood that fatigue transfer was not a two-way process. If she wanted to make the intern pay, she would have to find another way. So the next day, she prepared a whole pack of sleeping pills. While the intern was handing in documents, she secretly poured all of them into the intern's water cup. After watching the intern drink it and start yawning repeatedly, she immediately pretended to kindly remind the intern to go home and rest early. Watching the intern's unsteady retreating figure, she was convinced that she would finally get a good night's sleep. When she woke up the next morning, she indeed felt completely refreshed. But as soon as she tried to get out of bed to get dressed, her legs suddenly lost all strength. Immediately after, a headache struck, and she felt nauseous. However, after leaning over the sink and retching for a long time, nothing came out. Frantically, she opened her phone and checked the intern's social media feed. Only then did she discover that the intern hadn't slept at all but had partied at a bar all night. It turned out the intern had counteracted the sleeping pills with alcohol. When she dragged her nearly broken body to the company, everyone was gathered around the intern, praising them as an expert all-nighter. They were impressed that the intern could come to work early and process documents after drinking all night. And when everyone saw Anna's exhausted state, they immediately assumed she had stayed up late again. Then the intern deliberately said loudly to Anna, "Don't let staying up late at night affect your daytime work, or else everyone's salary will be docked." That sarcastic remark acted like a fuse, instantly igniting the anger of all her colleagues. As a result, everyone felt that, given Anna's current haggard appearance, she might as well resign and leave sooner. Moreover, as the team leader, she failed to set any kind of example. Under this pressure, Anna finally steeled herself and went directly to her boss to submit her resignation.